You're listening to Unspooled, the podcast where failed prints are just part of the journey. Hosted by Corey from Moji 3D, the guy who thinks filament is a personality trait, and Steve from Layer by Layer, who probably has more spools of filament than forks. Every week we dive into 3D printing, making, and the occasional rant. So grab your favorite filament and let's get unspooled.
All right. How's everybody doing tonight? So we are live. Episode number 6. I almost said number 5. Episode number 6 of the Unspooled podcast.
Myself, Moji. Podcast.
Yeah, myself,
My
Moji
name
3D.
is Steve. Yeah. My name is Steve, Layer by Layer.
Not the Creality Show.
Not the Creality Show. Always the Creality Show.
Always the Creality Show.
Always the Creality Show.
So tonight, what we're going to be talking about is what Steve and I have been talking about, and everybody's been talking about, and that is the changes to the Etsy policy regarding the sale of 3D prints. So, crazy. So, but before we get into that, what you been up to this week, Steve?
Trying to get ready for Murph. Printing out some maker chips. Failing on some maker chips, then printing some more maker chips. So always having a trick up my sleeve. So I have I had the main one that I want to do, and that may be like the collector's chip. And then I have the other chip that I want to make, that I'm making. That is it should be fun. It should be fun, especially if there's like kids there or something, or even for adults. So
they'll like it.
What have you been up to? Oh yeah, it's cool, right?
It's cool. It'll be fun. I don't know if I've seen anybody do that yet, so it's going to be neat. But I saw
one chip that was similar.
Similar,
that was very similar. Yeah,
I'm not getting ready for Murph, as a lot of people have asked me. I'm not going to Murph this year. Hopefully next year. But I have been printing. Well, I'm always printing nonstop, but the last couple of days I've been working on. I've been using the Centauri carbon, the Elegoo Centauri carbon, to print So Steve got one too. Amazing printer, but I've been using that to print. I've been testing that, printing PETG carbon fiber. Obviously, Centauri carbon wanted to test its ability to print carbon fiber material, so I'm using that bamboo PETG carbon fiber to print the top mount for the Ace Pro on the Cobra 3, so that you can mount the Ace Pro on top of it. So I've got another one coming, so that I'll have 2 Ace Pros on the Cobra 3, so I can have 8 color, and one mounts like on the top of the rack above the printer. So I wanted the top mount for the second one to kind of keep them out of the way, or to limit. So that's what I've been doing the last couple of days, and that Centauri carbon prints carbon fiber material perfectly. I mean, it prints everything perfectly. I've done PETG, PLA, TPU, and the PETG carbon fiber, and in all with default settings. I'm switching between Elegoo's version of Orca and regular Orca. I haven't touched the settings at all. And no matter which version you slice it in, they've been perfect. So have you printed a lot on it yet? I know you've only had it for a few days, but
just primarily PLA. But I mean, this thing has been a freaking workhorse. Like, I don't think I've had the only issue that I don't like is loading up the filament. It can occasionally get kind of like bound in that 90-degree turn into the nozzle, and so that's one thing. And like, I'm pushing it in, I'm like, okay, it's loaded. Like, okay, it can't go any further. It's obviously loaded. And then you kick off a print and like nothing happens. You walk away and you come back like the bed's empty. That is the first issue. Another issue is the clipper interface for it is terrible.
It is limited.
It's
definitely limited.
Yeah, it's super limited.
It's very reminiscent of like the Creality OS version of. It is limited, but
I feel like you could do a little bit more than in the Creality OS than in this thing. This thing is like, Fisher Price level of
and it doesn't bother me as much just because I don't really do a whole lot in that. Because I'll just send it the print from Orca, which will automatically go into the device tab in Orca, and I'll look at it there. But the only thing I really do is view the camera, and that's another thing about the Centauri Carbon is the camera that comes on it is awesome. Like
everything I've printed is not good.
I've been streaming the Centauri printing to Twitch all week, and I'm streaming with the camera that came with it inside. And a lot of people that have seen it have been like, they thought I set up another camera, because the equivalent to that is like the P1S camera. You couldn't stream that to anything. You can hardly see it just watching it. It's like 3 frames per second. It's awful.
That's like the A1 cameras. Those things are terrible. I wound up loading. You can kind of see right about there. There's a blink camera that I added to it. That way I can like legit see it when I'm not at home. But the camera on it is terrible. Pretty much.
I can't stand that camera. But so, anyways, to the topic at hand.
So, the spicy topic at hand.
So everybody knows Etsy made change, or not everybody, but a lot of people know, especially if you're an Etsy seller of 3D prints. So Etsy made, and again, they didn't really release it. It was just kind of found in amongst the policy change notifications from people. And I will bring it up here just so we can actually see it. So this is the juicy part that everybody's been referring to, is that now, and really this is the sentence that is the hot topic. These items must be produced based on a seller's original design. And I think that's kind of that key wording is the seller's original design, meaning you as the seller designed it and you've now printed it and now you're selling it. And I've seen all kinds of variations of this. I've seen people saying, no, or I've seen headlines of YouTubers doing videos about it that are, and then articles that are like, print farms are dead. Etsy's killing all 3D print sales, to, it's not going to be any different. You're just going to have to wordsmith stuff. So what I did is I went in and talked specifically with Etsy. So I submitted a ticket as a seller. I sell on Etsy, not often, but I do. And I asked them flat out, I said, there's been some in here. We'll kind of, actually, I have the, okay. So this is the screenshots from the actual chat with them. And this took 2 hours, right? So this is only one of the chats. The first chat, I got bounced around to 3 different people before getting disconnected. This is the second chat. So all in all, it took about 2 hours. So my basic question that took forever to ask was, can I 3D print a designer's model with their permission and then sell it in my shop, right? So I've seen people saying that they've done this and that they've done this through email, and it appears that people are getting conflicting responses from Etsy. I've seen people post, and I'm going to say post air quote chats or emails from Etsy because I don't know for sure that these are true, right? It could be just somebody creating clickbait or whatever. But there are these type of things saying, well, Etsy says no, I can still sell them. Some people are saying Etsy's telling them they can't sell them. But for me, if we scroll down here a little further, so this is me getting bounced around a little bit. So after this is the second chat in the first person, I get bounced to a guy named from Angela to an Edgar, right? So I ask the question again, and I'm basically just saying, I want to know if I can print another designer's model that I have permission to print and sell on my shop. So we go back and forth a little bit, and he says, so, and this is kind of jumbled up. I don't know if he had a hard time typing this, but basically he's saying his recommendation would be to take things from the design, but if you are going to sell the specific design, it's possible that the system, and I say system because I ask about that specifically, will take it like you are reselling or copying the design, right? So not my, as the policy says, not my original design. And then I asked him, so per your policy, I can only 3D print and sell models that I design myself and not ones that I've paid for commercial rights to sell the prints. And this is, my screenshotting, I want to make sure I didn't miss anything. And he wrote, that is correct. So this is an Etsy tech person. This is elevated, right? So I had to go through a bunch of people to get to this guy. So this is a guy who, according to Etsy, is qualified to answer these policy questions. And he says, that is correct. And then I said, and by system, you mean that there is an AI or algorithm, an AI that may automatically flag one of my listings as a 3D print that was of someone else's design. And he says, this is the same question. Yes, once you upload a listing, our system will verify. And he doesn't just say yes to the AI algorithm question. He yes exclamation point, right? So he's pretty confident, right? That there's, and again, when I started this whole thing, it was a chat bot. It took me a bit to get to a person. So there is an AI that is going to look at a listing that I create based off a print that I'm selling, and it's going to determine whether that is my design or a copy of something else that I'm printing and reselling. And I said, and then he said, if it is a copy, maybe the system will deactivate it. Okay. So I said, okay, but if flagged and I did in fact design it so that basically confirmed to me, like, okay, the policy's right? If it's not my design, then it could get flagged and it could get deactivated. The listing could be turned off. So the policy is accurate. So then they said, okay, what if I did in fact design it myself, right? And I post the listing and they still, for some reason, flag it as a copy or another designer's design and not my original design. How can I go about proving that? And he says, once a listing is deactivated, you will receive an email about why it was deactivated. But based on my experience, if a word, tag, picture, or phrase was the thing that triggered the deactivation, you can recreate a new listing. So I had told you, I had previously had, before this policy change, I had a Helldivers 2 keychain that I printed 25 of, and then somebody stiffed me on them. So I was like, I'll just sell them on Etsy. That listing got deactivated after like a month. And I got an email and it said, your listing has been deactivated. When I reached out to support at that time, they said, well, just take Helldivers 2 out of it, the private information, and then just list it generically without saying Helldivers 2, and then the system won't flag it. So they were like telling me to work around it, right? And not. So, and that's kind of what he's saying here, that if I'm not going to be able to prove that even if the design is mine, that it is mine to relist it. So I'm basically just going to have to relist it, wordsmith it, change the photos, and then hope that it doesn't get flagged again. So this could not only affect people who are selling other people's design models that they're just printing and selling, but it could be a system that now flags your actual real models, right? Because false positives and all that. So basically that's like the gist that I got from them, is that it's kind of it's cut and dry, but not cut and dry. It's like, it has to be your original model, but we're really not sure how the system's going to react to all of this.
So here's the thing. First of all, these are our opinions. This is not, I honestly like the whole thing because and I think we're going to use dragons as the main as the thing that we're focused on, but I don't think it was the dragons that probably tipped the that tipped the table, because no one else is making dragons on there, articulating dragons, be they ceramic or whatever else, or wood or whatever. So there's no one to say, hey, I make dragons and these dragons are hurting my business. But the people who make flower pots maybe, or various other home decor stuff could honestly see you, and they may have been the people to initially raise the flag, and then the dragons may have been what tipped, what kind of like turned everything over. Because it's just like, if you go in there, look up, if you type in 3D printed or 3D print or whatever, it's like tons of dragons.
I think by dragons it's flexi stuff, right? Like the flexi stuff on Etsy
it's just
is everywhere.
Yeah, and I think like the bigger issue is that and
Oh, you still there, Steve? I think we lost you. You're frozen up on us.
I think I mentioned it. Hold on.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, I feel like, how about now? Okay, cool. I feel like the creators license their stuff out way too cheap. Like, I feel like the licensing for these things should have been a lot higher. That way, you make more money on the front end, as opposed to like flooding the market. I feel like you can still make the same amount of money, but at a rate where you're not like selling yourself out in a sense. So
and you
take all of that into account.
It wouldn't have flooded the market, right? Because everybody wouldn't be able to get the dragons or the flexi stuff for $2.99 a month.
Exactly.
But and if this policy is in fact going to start flagging those and deactivating those listings, and it's going to limit the amount of things that these small shops, these Etsy shops, are going to be able to. Because let's face it, a lot of these shops are people that had probably never been into 3D printing before a Bamboo Lab printer came out, and then all these people went out and bought 6 Bamboo Lab printers, and now they're just hammering out these prints to make some money. But if they start to get weeded out, or those shops start to get diminished because they can't sell that stuff anymore, I see it causing two things. One, it's going to hurt the modelers, right? Because now it's going to diminish your Patreons and your Thangs memberships and your make any way that somebody's paying you monthly for the ability. And then two, it's going to, what this says down here it's going to increase the AI models, right? Because a lot of these people, they're not into the 3D printing community like we are. A lot of them are just doing it as a
Yeah,
business, right? So they're not going to
and
be
yeah,
they're
100%.
not going to shy away from the AI models. So if they can't sell it from
Oh
an
no, not
actual
at all.
modeler, they're just going to sell AI models, which we've also discussed that a
Yeah,
lot of us
one hundred
like.
percent, 100%. Yeah, so it sucks. It's like you win and you lose
Yeah,
because yeah, like you said, then AI modeling is about to go through the roof.
yeah.
Because that's the only way that they can still maintain and keep their business afloat at this point. So
No, because
you know,
they're not gonna
it's
learn modeling overnight.
no, they're not at all, and they're not gonna try to either.
No.
So it's just gonna be one of those things of yeah, like original stuff will be will still a ton of AI rendered stuff on there, which I think is also kind of a slap in the face of the other artists and creatives on their platform as well. Because it's still taking money out of their potential miles if they can make a coaster, out of
Yeah,
ceramics versus
yeah,
printing it and then
and
slapping you can make resin on top of it. It's gonna get
yeah, but
crazy again.
at the same time, if you're a small shop who has 10
Yeah,
Bamboo Lab printers at home and you're printing the stuff, and then now you're not allowed to,
yeah,
and you can't design, you're really, in order to keep your little small business afloat, your really only option is to either commission a new model, right? So you commission a designer to
yeah,
pay them to build you an exclusive model that only you can sell and you've
yep.
paid for that, or to use an AI model. A lot of them are not going to pay and couldn't probably pay the cost of a custom design from a modeler.
I don't think that people
Um,
would if they if they could, because they could do it
yeah,
now if they wanted to.
correct.
So even if they
But
could,
they
they
haven't had
wouldn't.
to.
But like you
But
said, yeah, and we're also a different part of the community. Um, like that's a lot of people who kind of, if it wasn't for like Bamboo, and this is not like a negative thing I'm saying, if it wasn't for like Bamboo and now all of the other companies that make super easy printers, this would probably be a totally different conversation, and we probably wouldn't even be having this conversation right now because the influx of, well, I think someone referred to it as slop prints, wouldn't have happened. Like now, it's just so easy to go buy a printer, buy a roll of like tricolor filament, and print out a flexi dragon or whatever, and then
oh
and
yeah, it's
make
100%
your
Bamboo's fault.
money back
I
off of
mean,
that
it's
roll of
I
filament.
mean,
You, you know,
we
yeah,
yeah. So I mean, the bamboo,
yeah. So
the bamboo X1C and P1S is what caused the influx of this stuff. I mean, nobody, I don't think anybody
yeah,
could deny that. It just made the entry to 3D printing so easy that anybody and their mother could just go buy 6 of them and start pumping these things out and sell them.
yeah,
But there are some larger farms on there, and if they, and again, they're probably smart enough to where they're going to be able to wordsmith it and take some photos, because I did, and again, I don't know if it's true. I saw on a Reddit post a comment from a chat with an Etsy employee, and the Etsy employee was telling them,
hmm
and again, this is just hearsay off the chat. It could be made up. They could have made up the chat window. I don't know. But it said, just kind of like what they told me, well, just wordsmith it and make fancier photos and try to make it look unique. And it may not get flagged, right? Because there's not people at
yeah,
Etsy sitting around and deactivating these listings, right? It's AI
yep,
just deactivating them. They did tell me that after it gets deactivated, in certain instances, and I'm guessing it's only if a shop owner complains or submits a ticket, they will get the deactivated listings do get reviewed by a human. I don't think all of them do. If nobody says anything, they probably just let it go. But they do say, "Oh, well, just recreate the listing and then see,"
Yeah.
So will
I
people learn to game it? Is basically what I'm saying. Like,
people will learn to game it. We know that for a fact. That's gonna happen. I think that AI is probably gonna be, I don't know if you've ever seen Silicon Valley, but is this a hot dog basically? It's like, is this a dragon? Yes. Does this dragon look like the dragons we've already added to our database of 3D printed dragons? Yeah, it looks a lot like it. Okay, flag it, boom, and that's just going to be the process. So, like, if you design your own crystal dragon, and then you see a crystal dragon on there, I think and the AI sees the crystal dragons, like, these look very similar. I'm just going to flag it and then let them, and let the burden of proof be on the person. We got things in the chat. That's the email you when they deactivate a listing. Additive Adam had mentioned in the chat. Not sure.
Yes,
they do. I would assume that you probably get some kind of notification.
Yeah, so I think I in the beginning of the podcast I mentioned I've had a before this policy went into effect, I've had an Etsy listing be deactivated, and in this case it was due to it being a Helldivers 2 keychain. Well, I think a lot of people, I don't know if you guys are familiar, but the game developers of Helldivers had like this big thing where they went out and went after like a whole bunch of things that were selling Helldivers 2 stuff without permission, an unlicensed product. So I'm guessing they went after Etsy and said, hey, anything that has a Helldivers 2 title, we want it pulled. So they deactivated it and basically, and they said the reason in the email was that basically it was licensed information and a licensed product, and I didn't have a license to sell it, so they were deactivating it. But when I reached out at that time to say, hey, what's kind of going on, they came back to me and said, oh, well, just take Helldivers 2 out of it, right, and just make it generic, like a skull, yellow black skull keychain. So again, there were ways to game it, and they were actively telling me how to game it. So, but yes, you do get deactivation emails when a listing is pulled.
You're about to have Etsy at your door. They're about to knock on your door like, hey, man, we told you that. That was supposed to be a secret.
I told so the first chat that I did yesterday, I told the person, I said, is it okay if I share this information with other people that I know who might have the same thing? And they were like, oh yeah, no problem. So I think they are clearly telling people, or people are reaching out either through email or through chat, and I think they're getting conflicting information directly from the horse's mouth, based off of what I've seen.
Probably, I think they really need to come out with like a graphical representation, like this is good, this is not. This is cool, this is not. Because I've also heard that if you customize the dragon, like if you put like a name on the dragon, like someone's name on it, now becomes eligible for being a part of a store. So who knows?
Yeah, and then somebody else said, oh, drape the dragon over a dice and then sell it with the dice. Now it's custom.
Yep, I've seen that as well.
Or put it in a basket and sell it with a basket, and now it's custom. So again, ways to just game the system. But my thing is, like, you say like, oh, this one's okay and this one's not, but it's going to have to be like the first ever person to ever sell a Cinderwing. What is it? Is it Cinderwing? Is that the name of the person who did like the first
Cinderwing
ever?
Is the big one.
Yeah, so Cinderwing, like, is it going to be the first person to ever sell a Cinderwing Flexi Dragon on Etsy is good, and then everybody after that? So I mean, they would have to look at the history, right, of the shop and their sales to say, you've been selling that for 8 years, you've only been selling it for 2. They're clearly the same dragon. You're done,
right?
But it's going to be interesting to see how
it will be.
Yeah, how they do it. But so it is. I haven't seen anybody in chat. Does anybody in chat actually sell on Etsy? He said, I do, but I literally only sell like one STL file that I've been selling on there for like
I think most of the
years.
people that I know that sell on Etsy probably sell their own stuff for the most part, their own
Yeah,
designs.
and
I would. Like
I only ever have sold my own designs, so it wouldn't apply to me. But that's why I asked the question, like, what if one of my actual designs gets flagged? And there is no way right now to prove to them that, like, I was like, can you fill out like an attestation form that says, yes, it's mine, and that's okay? Or do you have to like prove by submitting design files? But they said there's actually no way to prove it. You basically just have to relist it and then pray.
That sounds like it's probably going to be the plan. Like, I started trying to sell stuff on there, and then I was like, it's an uphill battle. Because if you're not buying ads and stuff like that, you know, like I try to sell like unique stuff, like my own stuff, and like it's hard selling like your own stuff. Like I'll say your own stuff. It's hard selling stuff that you want to sell as opposed to designing a dragon
what they
or designing
want.
something cliche, what they want.
Yeah.
And so like I contemplated like, oh, well, maybe I should design a dragon and sell that just to get people to come to the store to see the other stuff. And it was like, it's just, I don't know, it was just something that I couldn't bring myself to do just because.
Yeah, I mean, and the fees on Etsy are quite steep.
And we're picking dragons because dragons are the low hanging fruit.
Yeah.
It's not too, it's 20 cents a month or something like that for them. But like for me, like dragons are a waste in my opinion because of the amount of time it takes to print them. You could print smaller things instead of the smaller things and use less filament, and make more money than you would off of a dragon. People were selling dragons for like $7. Let's say like $7. You can make like a custom pair of earrings or something and sell them for like $5, and maybe even upsell that person to 3 pair and still make that same amount of money. Versus the did you lose me?
Yeah, I lost you there for a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
I think and then you get it's easier ways to make money.
Yeah, and then other than the Flexi Dragon though, like I mean, if you look it up, there's like there's probably 1,000 different versions of a 3D printed customizable desk name or a placard, like a name placard for your desk, or and I mean they cite that in the updates. It says or in the updated policy, it says how does it say? I think there's part of it that actually says like a printed nameplate or something that is customizable to the purchaser. And but yeah, I mean it, and I don't know, I have seen a lot of people that I know personally who have sold on Etsy. That has dwindled over the last couple of years. Like a lot of them that were selling a lot on Etsy just aren't anymore because it just wasn't worth it anymore, because there was so many people
because
like
of the and now there may be an influx. You may have the true printing people back in the mix.
Yeah, if you're making actual like unique designs, but I like one of them's and again it was his design and it was a ghost with flexible legs. And then there was one that came out that was really popular, and you pulled it up, and you printed down and then you pulled it up and the legs dangled, came out of it. You've probably seen it. Everybody's seen it.
Zal 3D or something like that.
Yeah, it was everywhere. And then within like months of like the first person printing that, they were all over Etsy. Everybody was selling it.
Oh yeah.
And it was that, and then other versions of it.
At one point, they were on AliExpress as well.
Yeah. And it was different than the one that my friend designed and sold, but it was similar enough that once that one became all over Etsy, his just stopped selling anymore because a lot of these places that were selling it, these shops that were selling it for like pennies because they were probably printing thousands of them, in these print farms that they have.
Yep.
But yeah, I think for a lot of them, a lot of people that I've heard, even before this policy, they were kind of shying away from Etsy, and a lot of them have gone to their own Shopify, site because. And the other thing is that the deals that you used to get with Etsy for shipping don't really seem to be the case anymore. The last few items that I have sold on Etsy, I just for my own peace of mind took that same package and that same product to the postal service, and they're like, "Oh yeah, it's this much." And I was like, "Are you kidding me? That was less than the shipping label that I purchased off of Etsy. It was actually cheaper for me to not do it through Etsy and to just go to my local postal service." Now, FedEx and UPS, that's probably different, but yeah, I just don't think you're getting the deal on the shipping part of it either. But
yeah. I mean, it's interesting. Frank in the chat said, as shows, small prints are where you make money, $2 to $5 items. That sounds like pretty cool. Yeah, I can see that, the small trinkets and things like that.
yeah, I mean,
anyone else? Okay.
Don't buy postage anywhere else. It's like 80% less. Yeah, I mean, I anytime I ship something, it's usually the postal service because, at least from where I live, FedEx and UPS are always significantly more. But I also live in Maine, which everything here is more expensive.
In the boondocks.
If you live
the literal boonies.
Yeah, I mean, if you live central in like the Central America area, it's probably a lot cheaper for you to ship everywhere than it is for me or
for
someone in Alaska or Hawaii. But yeah, everything.
I've watched a ton of videos of people talking about the crack, and most people seem to be in favor of it. But those are also people who are more community focused in 3D printing than they are in the cash grab side of it. Those are people that you see around or you see making content and stuff like that. So it's interesting, but there are some channels that I haven't checked yet because I mean they may be in the middle of scrambling, and trying to figure out what they're gonna do. That I know for a fact are printing other people's mouse as well as doing YouTube. So it'll be interesting. I'm for it
too. I'm for trying to reduce the repetitive stuff that's being printed and sold. I'm just also a little bit hesitant just because I'm worried about how it's going to affect like the Patreon people that are and the actual designers that are selling their stuff. If it's going to reduce that, and then also is it going to influx on the AI side, the AI models? But the other thing too is like something. How is it going to affect STL Flicks? Right? I mean, that's their bread and butter.
Exactly. I mean,
their entire bread and butter is
basically a giant.
Yeah. I mean, they just pump out models for people to purchase and then sell printed. So I mean, that's got to be a huge. I haven't actually looked at any of their stuff socials to see if they've mentioned it, if anybody has tagged them and mentioned it. I mean, it's got to be something that they're concerned about.
Oh, absolutely. But they also have their own store fronts for their own store fronts for like I guess like users or subscribers to their service or whatever. But I think it's you still got to get people to pop in to that.
Yeah,
that's the thing is Etsy has the high ground, so to speak.
Yeah, they just have the name. Everybody knows them.
Yeah, everyone knows them.
But
I also think you're gonna see influx of like dragons probably showing up on like we're gonna similar to what happened with TikTok when it went down. People are gonna want to move their
lost you there too.
X to or something. Can you still hear me?
You cut out a little bit there, but yeah, I think I get what you're saying. So like moving from Etsy to some other, like,
I think might have been lost completely.
oh, was it?
Oh no. No, I was saying I was trying to see if you still hear me. Yeah, I forgot what I was saying. But yeah, you're gonna see an influx in this stuff popping up in other places, just to kind of balance it out for people. But you're also gonna see, I think you're gonna see people who are like, okay, well, time to pivot to something else and see if we can make money somewhere else. So you may see you know, more printers for sale on Facebook Marketplace, people
Yeah,
selling like their whole farm, for the most part.
Yeah, I
A
think
lot of
I
that
mean, I hope
stuff happening.
as someone who's a 3D printer collector,
Right,
I would love to see an influx of these farm machines being sold on Facebook. Hey,
right.
Peekaboo. Yeah,
Yeah, I think it's gonna take a while though. I think it's gonna take. Oh, I don't think. I think people are gonna wait to see if this is gonna get reversed anytime soon.
well,
And
reversed or just not enforced, right? Like just because they're
not
making the
enforced
policy.
or nullified. Like I don't think the 3D printed side of Etsy makes them that much money that they would um like say, hey, okay, cool, let's ditch, let's roll back and say we changed our mind,
Oh
because
yeah,
I think
I would guess that the percentage of like 3D printed sold goods versus like woodworking or like the soft
yeah.
goods stuff, I'm
Mhm.
sure is like not even close. Because I mean that's kind of the bread and butter of Etsy has
Yeah,
been like that handmade woodworking, knitting, sewing, soft
yeah,
stuff but and then the other one we talked about was the Eufy make, right? Like
yeah.
eventually you're probably going to end up seeing a bunch of UV printed stuff, right? All over
Oh
the
yeah,
place. Well,
absolutely.
I'm guessing 90% of the people that own one of those, they're going to be printing existing artwork, right? They're not designing that artwork.
But I think the Eufy Make Studio has like AI like client or something built into it.
So you
So
can make an AI. But
yeah,
I'm guessing a lot of them too are just going to like pull artwork off Google Images, right? And then just print it on a coaster and then sell it.
I don't
But
know if only because if it's definitely built in, I think people are just gonna like, you know, give me
generate
a
it,
cute
prompt it.
cat. Yep. Instead of
Yeah.
having to like go find an image, and not everyone's gonna want to like use the, I'll say, proprietary stuff or whatever, or
Yeah, it'll be
from
interesting
the
to see
people.
how that shakes
I'll
out.
just
Like,
render something real quick. Yep. Yep.
oh, so Additive Adams
So yeah,
says um, Eufy Make has credits you have to buy for the ad in the feature. So Adam, are you saying that in order to use like the AI generation feature for artwork, you have to use the credits, which is same as Meshi AI is basically the same way. Like I think you can either buy credits or pay like a monthly fee for so many, which I think a
yeah.
lot of them are like that. But
I think if you're like legit making money, you probably won't care about the credit part of it, or you just
no,
spread
yeah,
it
as long
around.
as you're
You know,
making money. But
so
I think a lot of them
it's gonna
don't
be
have.
interesting.
I don't think a lot of them have like huge margins though,
Also,
so
I
it'd be
did read
interesting.
that if you modify your print, so like if you print a dragon but then you hand paint it,
Yeah,
then
oh
it
yeah,
kind
I'm
of
sure.
satisfies the crafted part of what Etsy is about. So
Like I'm guessing if you pay like a Wexter or a Photos Mint and then you print their model and then you paint it
yeah,
super detailed,
yep,
that's not going to be an issue.
yeah, exactly.
So I don't think that type of stuff. But there, you're again, we go back to that Flexi Dragon. I think that's
Yeah,
going to be the thing that they're going after. Which again, I agree with you. I'm okay with that.
yeah,
I'm just I'm if they actually do enforce it, I'm just curious to see what the the collateral damage would be to that. Like okay, now they're starting to just deactivate
yeah,
listings that are actually legit I've actually almost thought about taking some of my own designs that are like not generic, but like I have ghosts and things that I've designed that I have designed, but a ghost looks like a ghost and a lot of ghosts look the same, putting them on there as a listing just to see. I don't have any intention. I hope they don't sell because I don't want to ship them so nobody buy them. But just to see like if the listing gets deactivated, as a test, because I'm just kind of curious to see what's going to happen. But
yeah, that'll be interesting.
I am Fit a Delicious Food. So I'm going to sell gift boxes on Etsy and throw in a dragon with every purchase. And I've heard that say, I think you said it, Steve. Yeah. And I've heard that a lot. Like, oh, buy a D20 dice and that I made and get a free Flexi Dragon or something, which again, that's that workaround part. But
one of the things I always said with the dragons for people who like feel like that's the only thing that they could sell was like, give it a name and generate like a birth certificate, kind of like Cabbage Patch style, so that people will want to come back and buy more of your dragons, so that it becomes a collector's item more than a toy in a sense. So it's like, oh, I got all of these dragons from this person.
Stop giving away all your ideas, Steve.
I don't. This is. I gave that one away a while ago. Like,
did you?
It would make sense though, right? You like make it into like a collectible as a.
Well, you know what you're doing there.
Yeah.
What that is I mean, everybody's familiar with Supreme, right? I mean, that's Supreme. Supreme, right? Takes a normal shoe and puts a Supreme logo on it, and because they're only selling 4 of them and they're limited edition, they're now more expensive. And everybody wants it. So that's what I mean. I think as us as humans, we want the thing we want the unattainable. And we want the unique and the limited. So yeah, you're not wrong. If you had a model that you could market as I generate a limited amount of them and a new one comes out every 3 months. Well, like it's like Funko Pops, right? Like Funko Pops, or back when I was in middle school, every kid wanted what were the stuffed bears?
Beanie Babies.
Beanie Babies, yeah. Those are everywhere. So if you could do something like that. Yeah. Wait, built over bought. Pogs. Yes, Pogs. I actually loved Pogs when I was in middle school. Those things were awesome. Those were banned in a lot of schools because they were viewed as gambling.
Makes sense, though.
Yeah, I actually read about that.
That makes sense.
Yeah, they were banned in a lot of schools because the trading and swapping of them. A lot of schools were viewing them as like the kids were gambling, and I guess it became like a big problem. But I mean, you could say the same thing about Pokemon cards, but
yeah, you could.
Which I'm not going to because I don't want anybody in the chat. If you're a Pokemon card fan, don't attack me.
Right.
But
slammers.
Dude, Pogs and slammers, man. I remember slammers were like the metal ones. I remember.
There's a fly in here that was chilling happily. I saw it like when we first started. I wanted to kind of like go after it. It chilled, and then now it's like all over the place.
Now I'm waiting for it to land on the camera lens.
Right.
Like,
dude, it's killing me. Yeah,
but if it lands on the camera lens, someone take a clip of it real quick.
Right. Yeah. If it lands on me, I'll try to stay still.
You smack yourself in the face.
Right. Yeah.
A lot of people still collect Pokemon cards. I was surprised how
they got the vending machines now for Pokemon cards.
Oh, do they?
Yeah. They got like vending machines and like markets, and like people go and like one person might go and buy like every card in the machine because they know that they can potentially get something good and sell it.
I love vending machines. Like that's one of the things I love about Japan is like you can buy anything in a vending machine. Never been there, want to go, so this is only what I've been told. But apparently you can buy like socks. You can go like buy your underwear out of a vending machine, or like you could buy an iPhone out of a vending machine and then go like 10 over and buy a pair of socks. Like,
dude, if that is true, the socks thing or the underwear one, even funnier.
I've seen somebody
somebody walking up to a underwear vending machine, and it's like they're like, oh.
I have seen pictures of the underwear vending machine.
Oh my!
Now, who knows if they're real?
Walking so funny, but, like, oh no, never mind. He's going to the underwear vending machine.
Yeah, is there a underwear vending machine and then like an underwear disposal next to it?
Oh,
you can,
no!
Dispose of the old one and buy the new one. That's right. Yeah, I just heard like they're like in Japan, you can buy everything out of a vending machine.
That's cool. So I mean, I guess we kind of like express the whole Etsy thing. One thing, and I didn't get a chance to even look up anything, but Jerf is over, man.
I know. I'm actually quite sad about that. I obviously wasn't there, but I had a really good time for like a couple weeks, like going back and forth on socials with them. And I'm actually kind of sad that they're now no longer posting it. But
I know, right?
I did make the first ever hashtag Jerf 2026 post though.
Oh, did you?
This guy, yep.
You sneaky bum.
Utron, he was probably like, what? I don't even know if I'm holding it next year. Like, yeah.
He is. He's holding it next year.
Yeah. I'm like, you have to now because I have officially put out the hashtag.
Right. Yeah, we put it in the ether.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, that was cool. It was cool seeing like basically a community kind of just like grow right in front of our face, and go from like, as far as we knew, non-existent to like, hey, we're doing this and we're doing it in like a few months.
Yeah, and there was some really cool stuff there. There were quite a few like pen plotters. So like basically someone had just one of them was like a custom 3D printer design that was a pen plotter, but there were a lot of things there. There was like another machine that was basically like a DIY Cricut, but it could take a pen, but then it could also take a cutter, and like it was like cutting stickers out. And
that's cool.
Yeah, there's a lot of really, really like unique stuff. I think that, and again, it doesn't. After seeing what they're doing with maker chips, it doesn't surprise me. Like,
the
stuff that those people are creating is just mind blowing. Like I've have like so many friends now on social media platforms that are from Japan, and it's awesome because
there's definitely an influx of like Japanese followers picking up and stuff. So that's cool. That's the one thing, like one of our biggest things when we first started, before we even did our first episode, was like, there's a lot of sub communities in 3D printing, so it'd be cool to kind of like merge those communities in a sense. And so it was cool to kind of like reach out to Utron and he jump in, and I felt like it kind of bridged a gap between American rep rap and Japanese rep rap in a sense.
Yeah, and I think the hope is that like I'd love to see. You've got the 3 in the US, you've got the one in London, you've got now the one in Japan. Like it would be awesome to see like one in Germany and one in
Germany. You still got like form necks in a sense. It's not the same.
But those are more formal and corporate-esque. But I like, it would just be neat to see them form all over the world and be part of the group, I think I told Steve before we went live today, like I in the last week I have had, because of Unspooled and also the buzz of Jerf, I've had people from Chechnya and Italy and Germany and Poland. I've had all kinds of people that are in the 3D printing community that follow a lot of us and are active on various socials, but they've DM'd me like, oh, we like your show, but it's too late and it's 3 a.m. We can't watch it. Or I had like one of the guys, he was like, did you see, he was asking me about all the stuff from Jerf, like the maker chips. he was sending me all these chips that he found pictures of, and he's like, look at this one, and I just thought that was really cool that Jerf not only connected like Japan with a lot of us, but it also has connected other countries with us through it, you know, because, you know, everybody's seeing it. And thankfully with something like Google Translate, I know what they're saying, which is great.
Exactly, dude.
Actually,
that's the coolest thing, man.
So this year I posted, so it's kind of hard to see, but this says, in Japanese, it says, Japan Rep Festival.
Yeah, of course. I know that's what it says.
Yeah. Like again, I so when I printed it, I made a post about it, and then I tagged Yudo in it, and I was like, "Did I spell it right?" He was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Yeah, it's perfect." I was like, "Oh, okay." Because
that says Japan Rep.
Because I'm like,
you should have just asked me. I took 2 years of Japanese in high school.
Did you? Yeah. So I was like, if Google's messing with me, that could say like, you know, I don't know, I like to eat poop or something. I have no idea.
God, right?
Because who knows? But yeah, it was just but it's neat. It's cool to see. And not just a 3D printing event, but an actual rep festival, right? Like following that whole group,
and it being from like the beginning of it to like now, you know, like, you know, I'm pretty sure whenever I go to any of these things, I'm like rejuvenated in a sense, you know. It's like, that was so much fun. It
kind of lights a fire under you to be like,
absolutely,
to be more creative or to do something, or to finish, or to, like, for me, a lot of times, like with 3D Printopia last year, before and even after, and now looking forward to the one in September, is like, it makes me want to finish my projects, right? So it makes me want to start some, but it also it makes me want to finish things so that I can then bring them to the event. But I mean, it'd be so cool. Like now we had what, Jerf last weekend, and then
Murph this weekend.
Literally Murph this weekend. So they're like, I mean, it would be pretty awesome if we had like a Rep Festival monthly. You know, every month of the year.
People would stop going to all of them then, because it's like, oh, I don't have to go to this one because I got one like right next to me. But you know, let's get them to start like you know, Antarctica Rep Festival or ARF. We can get that one going.
We need one in Hawaii.
Hawaii.
Yeah, Harf. See, I wanted to start one in Boston.
The worst sounds.
I wanted to do one in Boston. Yes. No, I wanted to call it the Northeast Rep Festival, so we could call it NERF.
I like Barf way more than NERF.
No, somebody else. No, it's Northeast Rep. It's NERF.
Boston area Rep Festival. Make it happen.
Are you gonna go to Barf? Yeah.
Yeah, you go to Barf this year? Like, no.
NERF. Even if we did start it and called it NERF, everybody would, if it was in Boston, everybody would call it Barf anyways. So.
Yes, absolutely. 100%.
It could be the unofficial name. The underground name.
Right. I'm trying to think what would be I don't know, man.
So
I can't think of any other areas that WARF. You can have WARF if it's like in Washington. Yeah.
Or you could just call it you could call it the Northeast or the Northwest.
Yeah,
but what would it be?
Would it be Surf or like Seattle Rep Festival or something like that?
Yeah. Adam, you need to get on that next year.
Right.
Yeah.
Him and Wazzy. But we doxed them just now. No, I mean they totally don't live in that area.
Yeah, well, they all know everybody knows what state everybody lives in. Just don't know where. But the Pacific Northwest.
Yeah.
I saw a Daddy Wazzy posted a picture today of like him getting rid of like 3 years worth of like prints and bits and pieces, like throwing them away in the trash. It was kind of funny. I don't know if you saw that. He
I saw it while
had this massive trash bag that he was like dumping in the dumpster.
I'm thinking about bringing the heat press to Murph and letting people bring, if they want to bring out some of their filament waste. We throw it on the heat press and they can make a sheet. It depends. I might do it. I might not.
Make a PLA pancake.
Make a PLA pancake. There we go.
Yeah.
PLA pancake.
A colorful PLA pancake.
Right.
We need a swerf. Yeah, swerf. That would work. Swerf. Southwest Rep Rap Festival, right? Oh yeah, yes, he does say so. Yeah, I'd go to that one. I like the Southwest weather.
Yeah.
It's warm, not too hot, not too sweaty. Now Florida, I'm out if it's Florida.
For I don't even know how you say that, but it's
Just
the same. It's the same frontwards and backwards, so you can say it either way.
Yeah, furf and furf. Yeah, I like Florida. I've been to Disney and stuff, but it's just so hot.
Oh, dude, it's real.
This northeast guy just can't handle that.
The Florida thing is like it rains for like 5 minutes, and then like it's like they got a humidity level they have to maintain. They're like, look, but it's getting kind of cool. It feels good, and it's like, no, we'll let it rain for 5 minutes, raise the humidity back.
But like up. when you can part the air or like swim through the air, that's too much. Like it's just hot.
That's Maryland. That's the type of heat Maryland has. And
I mean, we get hot up here. I mean, like today it was hot. It was like 90 something degrees, and it's hot and it's humid, but it's not like Florida though. Like
Maryland gets muggy. And I went to Palm Springs like 2 or 3 years ago, and it was like 113 on average there the week we were there. And I would take that over a 90-degree like Maryland day any day.
Somebody posted the other day, I think it was it Papa Bears on X? Somebody said something about like, why do I stay here? And they posted a picture of their truck, the temperature in their truck, and I think it said 107. And I think he said he lived in Arizona or something. But I mean that's just
you gotta have like auto start in those places because you start cooling your car down before you even get in.
Well, like in Maine, we all have, or the Northeast, we all have automatic starters for heat in the winter.
Yeah.
But when you live in like Florida, man, like I remember, I lived in Mooresville, North Carolina, and it got hot there, right? And like the first, I moved there in July, and of course that July, everybody that's from there is like, oh, this is the hottest July we've seen in like 15 years, and I'm dying. And I remember leaving my apartment to go to class, and when I would go to start my car to turn the air conditioner, by the time I get back in, I felt like I needed another shower because I'd be soaked.
Carolina don't play. Carolina does get hot.
Yeah, it was hot. It was like the first day I was there, it was like 113, and it never dropped below 100 for like 9 days straight. Like at night, and it got hotter at night.
At night.
Yeah, it was ridiculous. The sun would go down and it would get even hotter, and it was awful.
Dude, I remember my wife and kids went to Arizona for like a week, and the hotel opened the pool at nighttime so that people could swim because like swimming in the daytime was just ridiculous.
Yeah, like boil.
Yeah.
Well, like, so GTR Dad says, South Arizona, it was 115 yesterday. Like that's hot. Jesus. I mean, and I know it's not as humid there, but I mean, 115 is 115. I don't care where you are. Yeah, like, that's hot.
Dude, anything over like 88 for me is hot. Like I don't care about anything else after that. Just is it more than 88 degrees? Yeah, okay, cool. It's hot today, and I don't need all of the semantics of it's 88 with a heat index of blah blah blah. Like once you say 88, we're done. Yeah. You don't need to talk anymore.
Somebody's like, oh, it was 105 with 99% humidity. It's like I don't even need the humidity. Like if it's over 95, I'm staying inside. Like actually, if it's over 90, I'm staying inside.
In reference to the Rep Rap Festival, Pez says they're looking at a Canadian option.
Oh yeah.
Rep Rap Festival.
That'd be cool. Yeah. Now make sure it's like Nova Scotia or New Brunswick, because then I can go.
Be like Toronto or something.
Yeah, probably like Vancouver on the other side of the country. No, like Nova Scotia is perfect because that's like I think I'm closer to Nova Scotia and New Brunswick than I am to Maryland.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I'm like I'm from like the Nova Scotia border. I think I'm like 3 hours, 3.5. To Maryland is like 12.
That's insane.
Yeah, Nova Scotia would be cool. I like Nova
Man,
Scotia too. I can take a ferry. I can take a ferry to Nova Scotia.
Look at Peekaboo. You might get Nova Scotia, but I doubt it. It might be like it'd be you and Peekaboo and like and like 3 other people.
Yeah, Zombie would go. Zombie's from Maine.
That's true.
He's like 40 minutes south of me. So
yeah.
They'd be. We could have a Nova. What would it be? Nasurf, Nova Scotia, Nasurf. Yeah, we could have a Nova Scotia Rep Festival, and it'll be like 7 of us.
It'll
be a ripping time.
A ripping time. It'll be one table, and everyone's got their stuff on it.
Yeah. Well, it'll be a real small venue. We could do it at McDonald's.
Yeah, right.
All right, so. Real quick, I'm going to share this because I don't know if you guys are familiar with him. All of you probably are, but Retro Maker, everybody knows Retro Maker, right? Like Retro Maker.
Yeah.
So I'm making this. I told him I was going to make this. So he makes these cool little like radio, like retro radios, and they use these little what are they? Antec Lansing is the brand. So they have like a whole bunch of different colors. So it's just a little Bluetooth speaker. So he makes all these little retro. I'm going to do this one here. They're just cool. They use these little and they actually sound pretty decent. So
are you still able to like access it and turn
so
it on?
So it's Bluetooth, but it is just like a housing or something. But the front just pops off if you want to take it out and like charge it.
You should make it where you can like at least turn it on from the outside and charge it from the outside. Like never have to take it out. That would be sweet.
Yeah, but it's just cool looking, and like I thought it was neat, and they're just like it should be easy to print, and they're cool. So I'm going to do that one there, and that's why I got that brown filament for the first time ever. First ever roll brown filament. I like
the brown that he has in this picture. What is that?
Yeah, it's like I don't know what color it is. He doesn't say in the.
That's nice.
I don't think he says in the thing.
It's like a matte chocolate, I guess.
Yeah, but it has like I don't know. It has like an old timey look to it. I don't know if he did something to it or if that's just how it came out. But yeah, and he has a cool little logo inside. Just neat. Yeah, it's just a little housing for it, but I thought it was cool. I wanted to give him a little shout out because I'm going to print one.
I just got a bunch of new stuff from new to me. Some of New Maker's mats that I just got in. They're pretty cool. I can't wait to use them. I'm not sure what I'm gonna use them for. Maybe I'll do some maker chip stuff with them. With the thing that I'm doing for my maker chips.
Yeah. I saw in the box. One of them a yellow or like a yellowish orange. Looked nice.
So
I only saw the sticker, but
one was a burnt orange ASA, and everybody knows I'm team burnt orange for like everything. Yeah. One was a burnt orange ASA, and then the other one was, what was the other one? Let me take a look real quick. The other one,
there was like a PLA that was like, I thought it looked like the little sticker on it looked yellow or like
Golden Dawn. It's there.
Yeah, that one, I like that one. That one looked good. It stuck. That one stood out when I
Golden Dawn. There's one called Frozen Tides that's like a teal, and then there's one called Frosted Fern that I can't wait to crack open.
Yeah,
there's also another one called Moon Shadow that I didn't get, but I want to get that one. That Moon Shadow looks really cool.
Yeah, they make some cool colors. They make some nice purples.
Yeah, they rolled out that matte line. Like I don't think they really did like a big like kick in the door kind of thing of like, hey, we rolled out this new line of mats.
You don't see a lot of advertising from them or social stuff. They're kind of.
I think they're pretty much word of mouth. It seems like or festivals.
So okay, guys, stop saying Steve has a filament problem.
I do.
He just got 13 more.
I do have a filament problem. I do. I don't even have. I legitimately don't have space. They are right now. They're hidden in a closet.
I have the same problem. Mine just aren't colors. Mine are like carbon fibers and glass fibers and weird polycarbonates and every type of nylon. I mean, I've got nylon that I've never even printed before.
It's just, and I don't like to have I like to keep them in the box. I don't know. I don't want them out like even in the bag, just sitting out. I want them in the box because
Yeah,
I
I
feel like
usually
the box
I
adds
usually
another layer of protection because like I can roll the bag back up
yeah,
and
I
then tuck it
usually
in the
leave
box.
like I usually leave all mine
Yeah,
I leave them in the box until I use them. But
yeah.
this
The only
is
ones I don't have in the box are 3DX Tech because I got them
really
and I got like a shelf, one of those
yeah.
pre-made like filament shelves, and I got like 10, nah, I got like 12 or 15 rolls of 3DX Tech on them. Those are the only ones I don't have.
Stroth guy said Corey has a substance problem. Yes.
Right.
So yeah, I keep like 10 rolls of this stuff because I go through a ton of PETG and
Nice.
the 3DX Tech carbon fiber stuff is awesome.
Yeah, they make some cool stuff. I was watching it, and it was it the Infill podcast from the Next Layer, and he had the product manager for 3DX Tech on there. I just started it, so if you guys get a chance, check out the Infill podcast. He has that product manager on there. I can't remember her name.
They do seem to do a lot of stuff with Vision Miner.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like Vision Miners like the nanopolymer, but I'm a 3D lac guy. I like 3D lac. I've got tons of the cans around it. I like the spray. I like the aerosol spray.
So what I did, I had tried nanopolymer before.
Yeah.
And it just didn't really seem to take. So I did this. I went and bought like a little paintbrush.
Yeah.
From like Five and Below, or not Five and Below, from probably Harbor Freight or something. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Oh, actually no, Dollar Tree. And I just drop it onto the bill plate, and I also spray it with a little bit of alcohol, and then I just use this to kind of like spread it all around, and that seems to work like really well. I haven't had too many issues with the coming off at the
For years I used to use Magigoo because I liked the applicator that it had, but I don't like having to like paint it on. I don't have time for that. Like
this is my favorite part. That was my favorite thing to do.
It drives me nuts. So I just wanna take the plate and then put it down. Like in that the 3D lac is just really easy.
Yeah, that was my favorite thing, man.
Yeah.
I used to do it like even back in the glue days. Yeah, man, painting the glue on like it, especially on the smooth plates. You don't need it really on the texture ones, but you know, getting it all spread around, that's favorite.
Yeah, I use 3D lac mostly for like the more technical filmants, more of like a release agent than I do like for actual adhesive. But other than ABS, like ABS and ASA, I do it just so it doesn't warp. But for the most part, like all my enclosed printers with chamber heaters, nothing warps anymore. Like ASA never warps, or an ABS. I don't ever have them warp as long as it's heated chamber and enclosed. But and I'm not stupid and like open the door and check on it with like a printer that doesn't have a camera. But I've been using those. I'm gonna tell you. So I mean, that's another thing I love about the Allegory Centauri Carbon is, and I don't know, I probably said this already. The camera that comes with it is awesome. But for all the printers that come that don't have a camera, or like the P1S where the camera's garbage, these things are awesome. So Steve's been using them too.
Yep, that's what I'm using right now.
Yeah, so this is the 1080p version. So this one here that I'm using is the Meet 2, which is like the 4K version, even though I'm only using it as 1080p. But this is the SE version, and it's 1080p. But they're like $60, and it's the tiniest little camera you've ever seen. Like
so small.
I'm not kidding. It's like what 1 inch tall by like 1.5 inches wide, maybe.
It's probably an inch. It's probably 1.5 inches by 2 inches.
Yeah, it's tiny. So it fits in every printer. You can stick it anywhere. And the cool thing is that
it has a magnetic bottom too, right? Or is it?
Yeah, it has a magnetic bottom. So there's actually some of them where I've been able to stick them, and they adhere to like a bolt. Not obviously not like the aluminum extrusion, but they'll just adhere to, they'll magnetize to a bolt, and I've just set them in there, and then but you have to be able to get to the USB cable. But
here's the thing though, like
that's on the back.
If you put a little hole in the side of the case or something like that, and then get a strong enough magnet on the outside, maybe make a little mount. You could probably have something that you can adhere to the outside and move it around if you wanted to.
Yeah. And even if you just if you wanted to put a hole in to put the USB-C cable through, because the plug's dead center on the back of the camera, you could literally VHB tape the back of that camera because it's so small, and it would stick to anything.
Then you could literally, because it does have a was it like a hot shoe mount on the bottom of it? Not hot shoe, but you get one of these
quarter 20.
You get one of these, and then you put the hole in the case.
Yeah.
And then you can mount this directly to the case, and you can still adjust it, with this part. And I might have to do that.
And the cool thing about them is that they're so small that you can do that. Like you can maneuver them around because they don't stick out. Like if you try to do that with and I've got a bunch. Like if you try to do that with the Logitech C920, those things are huge in comparison.
I have to see which one this is. This has been my go-to. This Logitech. What is this?
That's the 720, right, or something?
720 might be.
Yeah. So, I was gonna show. So anybody in chat that has a K1, Steve has a K1. I just got my Fadis. So through Devil Design. What is it? The DCX or DXC? I can't even remember the thing, but it's pretty cool. It's it's definitely well built, but the DXC, but it's really well built. Like it's an injection molded case, and then all these are CNC'd, like all the levers, but it should work good. I haven't had any issues with my K1, but I still wanted to give it a try. But,
nice.
Just came in today.
Nice. That's cool. I think we got anything else on the
let's see.
I'm trying to figure out.
We talked about the Centauri. We wanted to, a lot of people.
Quick little breeze over for the Centauri. I was getting flack. People were like, "Oh, you got one because Corey got one." I was like, "Listen."
Well, you got one because one, it's awesome, and two, you had been looking at it. It just became available at your Micro Center, right?
Also, let me just say, technically, they don't. So if you live near a Micro Center, the Centauri is available there. They just don't. They do something where it's not available online. So you can search for it and it'll come up, but it'll say not in stock. But if you go to the store, it'll be like my store had like 20 of them, but it does not show up. You can search for it. It'll show up in your search results. But if you go to the 3D printers and you say, show me all printers, including out of stock ones, it won't show up. And this was as of last week. They may have made a change, but this is as of last week.
I think they were what, 309, something like that?
329.
329. So
Maryland, it was about 363. Oh, well, I bought something else, but it was it's a little bit more with the taxes depending on where you are. But it was.
Yeah. So they're a little bit more. It's like if you buy it I bought it directly from. I bought it directly from Elegoo. I think it was like 309 free shipping, but taxes with tax. But right now, I think if you order it online with Elegoo, you're probably not going to get it for a couple months. So
and that was the thing. I didn't want to wait for it. Number one, I also wanted to. I live close enough to America, so I wanted to be able to take it back if I needed to without having to, ship it back to Elegoo or whatever.
Yeah.
So
I'm a fan of Delicious Flavor. There is no AMS at the moment, but they have said that they have one. I do know that it's in the works. I have seen a photo of it. But they have said Q3 of 2025, so that should be Q3 starts next month.
They're definitely doing it because this is built. It has the slot in the back of it.
And I've seen a render of it.
Okay.
It does exist, and they do have it.
And
it did say it was going to be Q3 2025, so that should be between now and September.
Like when you do a load or a purge, when you do a purge or unload of your filament, it goes to the slot in the back and it does it right there. So I got to check
it's got a
behind
poop
my
chute.
printer. Yeah, it's got a poop chute that it's using without the AMS right now.
Yeah, and I will say the way that the poop chute is designed, so it's deeper than what's on like the P1S.
Yeah.
So the way that it drops, I don't think you're ever going to get it bunching up in there. Like a lot of people with the P1S have always said that, like a BQ now has like a silicone sticker that you can put to the P1S chute, so that or the X1, so that it can't stick to the side of it and then start bunching up. But I don't think you're going to get that with the Centauri, because the chute is like deeper and it's as wide, but it's a little bit deeper. So whenever anything drops in there, it just like fires out the back. Like I can actually hear it hit the table behind it. That's how quick like it drops out of there. But I will say I am such a the Centauri Carbon has been the best printer that I've ever had, just directly out of the box and done nothing, no tuning, no messing around with it, no anything. It's been hands down the easiest one to just use. And I love it. And for $299, I love it even more. And I have one P1S left, and I'm going to sell that, and I'm going to replace that with 2 more Centauris. That's how much I like them. But I got to wait till the AMS comes out, because the P1S has an AMS on it. But yeah, I really like it.
I would definitely buy another one down the road. Like it just works. And
and
the AMS, if they make the AMS like at a reasonable price.
And the edge that it has over a P1S is, I mean, one, it's only $299, but 2, it comes stock with a hardened extruder and a hardened nozzle. So you don't have to, like with my P1S, I print carbon fiber and glass fiber and abrasives with my P1S, but I had to change the extruder gear and the nozzle in order to do so, and I already paid, I don't remember what I paid for my P1S. It wasn't, I think now they're like $6.99 or $5.99. $6.99. I didn't pay that. Obviously, I paid it when it was a lot lower. But still, I paid $500. I could basically get with shipping, because Bamboo shipping is kind of expensive. But with shipping and tax, I could have bought 2 Centauris. So huge fan. I really like them. I don't think, like, a lot of people have been asking about it this week, because I've been posting a lot of pictures of me printing with it. And I would tell anybody, buy it, especially now. Like, if you buy it now, you're going to get the one with like the upgraded LED light, not the tiny little light.
If you buy it from Elegoo, you get that. If you buy it from Micro Center, you get the version 1.
Yeah, I would highly recommend buying it from Elegoo now, because if you get the upgraded or the version with the few upgrades that they've done, like I said, I haven't any issue with it. I really like it. But yeah, I think if the AMS is done right and it works well, if it works anything like the Bamboo AMS or the like the Ace Pro from Anycubic, that works great as well. If it works anything like either one of those 2, I think the Centauri is going to get even more popular than it is now. Because I think I've heard a lot of people say, I've been holding off on getting it just because I want to see how the AMS is. So I think if that comes out and it's good, I think the floodgates are going to open with it. Like, they've already had a hard time keeping up with the amount that they've of purchases now. I think they better be pumping them out, because I think if the AMS is good, they're going to have a hard time keeping up with the demand.
It is giving the Creality some competition, because I mean, it's a Creality K1, it's the best machine ever made.
The hashtag Creality Shield.
Hashtag Creality Shield, not a sponsor. But it definitely Like I've been throwing stuff at it the same way I threw stuff at like the K1, just because I know that it print and it'll just work. And like I said, it's just a printer. It's not like, hey, do you want to level the bed every time? Hey, do you want to do this? Like, no. It's like, I won't do any of that. Just start printing. I told you to start printing, It's like, all right, we're printing in 7 seconds. Go for it. It's like,
and I will say, it's fairly quick to print.
Yeah.
It goes through it doesn't use adaptive mesh for the bed. I kind of wish it did. It does do a full probe of the bed before every print, but it does it really quick.
It does.
So once you send the print, the upload time to it. So when you send the print, it uploads really fast as compared to like my P1S. I mean, it's not slow, but it's not fast. But the Centauri, like you click it, I mean, it uploads within seconds. And it's quick to print. And I, like I said, I haven't had one. I mean, I don't have hundreds of hours on it, but I've been printing with it it's been going basically nonstop for like ever since I got it, over a week. Basically 24/7, and I haven't had an issue with it. So
I'm thinking about taking it to Murph. If it wasn't for the fact that like I might take the A1 Mini.
Take the Centauri. Just stick the A1 Mini in the Centauri and take them both.
I know. I'm thinking about taking both. It depends on if I get a table. If I know I'm gonna get there early enough to get a table. Last year they had tables left over, so that shouldn't be an issue.
I think they made a post. I think somebody made a post about like no problem. Like if you get there and you want a table, I think they said they'd be.
Yeah, they're first come, first serve. So I don't have all the cool swag and like tablecloths and all that. I'll steal one from like my wife or something. Yeah. And I got some bubsies that I want to give away. I may make some kind of game out of it so that people have to like, I don't know, toss their maker coin or maker chip into like a basket or whatever.
And it'll be Unspooled 0.5.
That's right.
From Murph.
Yeah. I can't wait. It gives us once Murph is over, we'll have almost 3 months to work on what we want to do maker chip wise for Unspooled.
I know it's not enough time though.
Some swag for Unspooled would be pretty cool.
3D Printopia. I've got so much. I've got so many things to do for 3D Printopia. Like, even though it's 3 months, like every day that goes by, I'm more nervous that I'm not going to get everything done.
We'll keep each other honest. So I mean, it's June now, so July, August. 3 months. 3 months until.
I know we got a lot of stuff to finish.
It'd be interesting. It could be fun. It could be a lot of fun. I can't wait.
It's going to be a blast.
I think
hopefully it's not as hot though. It was hot last year.
It was.
But it won't be as hot as Murph though.
I'm used to it. I didn't really feel that.
Yeah.
So it's like you're the second or third person I heard say that it was hot. And I was like, was it? I was like, it was Merlin.
Yeah, I thought it was hot. But again, you were there, so you were acclimatized to it, like acclimated to it. But I when I got there, I was like, man, it's hot down here. But
are you bringing the whole Moji 3D crew with you this time, or are you going solo?
No, I think I'll be solo this time.
Okay.
I don't think my wife and kid are gonna go. I don't know though. Maybe we'll see. Might change their mind. But yeah, I think I'll be solo. I've got a lot of stuff to bring down this time. But
are you gonna be closer to the event this year? Closer to the
yes. So if everybody knows what happened to me last year, so I had a reservation at La Quinta, the one closest to the Horford, whatever the university is there. And literally like 3 days before, I called to just verify, I hadn't got an email, and I was like, oh, it was weird. Usually I'll get like an email ahead of time saying. So I called, and they were like, oh, we don't have a reservation for it. And I'm like, what? And they were like, oh, well, that was canceled. And I was like, by who? Like, it wasn't me. I didn't cancel. So something had happened, and they basically had canceled my reservation. So, like on the drive down there, so this was like literally the day before. So I think I left that Friday morning, and it was Thursday night that I found out it was canceled. So like literally on the way down there, I'm like we're trying to find a new hotel. So we ended at this like hotel that was like, I don't know, it was like 25 minutes away, which stunk because my wife and my son, they were going to DC, right? They were basically tuck and rolling me out at the event and then at 3D Printopia, and then they were taking off to DC. So here I am, like I'm like rolling that massive my Fallout printer that is not small, right? It's a GDX Max 3. So I had that like on like a rolling cart from Harbor Freight, and I'm like rolling it down the back alleyway to where you get into the back entrance. And they're just like, "You good?" I'm like, "Yeah," and away they go. And I'm like rolling everything in. And then when I left, I had to Uber back to the hotel. Stupid me, after the first day, I bought like 8 rolls of filament. So like the Uber driver comes up, and I'm like holding like rolls of filament, and I'm like loading this stuff in his car. And I got a backpack, and I'm all hot and sweaty. I got like 4 bottles of water, and he didn't even say anything to me. He's just like, oh, and he we go on our way. But yeah, it this time I will hopefully have my own vehicle, so I don't have to do that. And I will be closer.
This time we're like legit friends, so it'll be slightly different as well.
Yeah. So yeah, because as everybody knows, I met Steve at 3D Printopia last year. I think I'm still going to volunteer this year too, though, because I still want to help out with the So I did volunteer last year, and I'm still going to do that this year. So I will also have a table, but I'm also going to.
Have you already?
I'll be throwing waters from my table to people as I like deliver.
Have you signed up for a table yet? I don't know if they started or.
I keep checking. I haven't seen.
You might want to do it fast.
Yeah.
Yeah. For the maker tables, at least.
Yeah. So I think
I'm gonna ask them to do it. They should do a volunteers table. I think a volunteers table.
So if they do one up front where we were last year, you and I could just do the front table, and then we could have like a little L shape there.
Yeah, that would be cool.
That way we wouldn't have to leave that space.
That would be cool.
Yeah. Because that was a lot of fun.
It was. Yeah. I can't wait.
We're 9:36. We're technically 6 minutes over our time.
Yeah, real quick. Join the Discord. I like spammed everybody on there. If you didn't get one, you were either already in the Discord or we're not actually friends, and I'm sorry.
You're missing out. No, I also shared the link on my X account. So if you look there, it's like 2 posts ago. You'll see it. The link's there. GTR Dad, you are definitely cool. But yeah, you can find it there. It'll also be like on my Instagram, my Facebook, my
it's also on. I'm dropping it now.
Blue Sky.
It's also on our website as well.
Yeah, so join that. It's a lot of fun. We were hesitant to start it. I'm kind of glad we did because we've had a lot of cool, fun conversations in there. We're there's a lot more people in it than I thought we would have in it. So we appreciate it. It's a lot of fun. I spammed
them all. I was like, join.
Yeah. Shout out to Strothgar. Hopefully he's still in tonight. He's still in. Shout out to Strothgar because he's been helping us out with it.
He was like, what's going on? He was like, something happened.
He's like, somebody posted something because we read it. But so if you guys don't know, Strothgar is a mod on our Discord, and he's an awesome guy, and he's been super helpful. So reach out to him too in there, and he's a good guy.
Picking a raid target. What are we doing?
Yeah, so let's see. Who do we have? Who is on?
It's cool doing it from the iPad. It's really cool.
So it's always it's Big Jano's always
Big Jano's always on. Let's see
he's on. Oh, so you're gonna raid to me and then I'll raid to him?
Either or vice versa.
Okay, yeah, let me. What's that?
No, yeah, go ahead. I'm listening.
Okay.
Yeah, rate to me, and then I'll rate to Jano. Just let me know when you're done.
We're rating to.
Once again, thanks everybody for hanging out with us.
Thank you so much.
I'll probably see some of you all this weekend. If not, I'll see you next Tuesday. Or I may see you on Instagram or somewhere. But appreciate you guys coming and hanging out. This is episode 6 in the bag. Feel free to drop ideas or anything that you come across in the Discord. We're
open to topics.
Yeah, get executive producer privileges.
Yeah. Cool. All right, guys. Have a good night.
All right, cool. And I'm gonna go ahead and raid over. Have you already pushed the raid through to me?
Yeah.
All right, cool. And I'm gonna raid through to Big Jano. So everyone, hang on for the raid. We will see you guys next week.
Good night.